Welcome to the Lavesh Pillay Show. Ignore the way that my voice sounds. I'm still a bit sick with the flu. So, yeah, one of those things. Last week I told you that I'll do an episode on Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull. Well, this is that episode. Newey is a spectacular engineer who has a long history with Formula One, which includes a lot of ups and some downs. Now, having started his career back in the early 1980s, the British engineer has been instrumental in leading teams to constructors' championships, as well as some of the most iconic drivers to their drivers' championships over those years. With Newey set to leave Red Bull at the end of the 2024 season and not have to serve a gardening period, he is fair game to join any team and be instrumental in their development towards their 2026 car. With 2026 being a year full of change and the new engine rules coming into play, it would really be interesting to see where he decides to make a move to. We already know that Ferrari may be trying to make offers to have Newey sitting in their corner, and Hamilton has always said that he would be honoured to work with his fellow Brit, having mentioned that in a recent interview as well. But my money is either on Sauber or on Aston Martin. Sauber wasn't an initial port, but since the Audi entrance will be in 2026 and Newey's influence will mostly be felt on that car, I really think that they may well be a move to get Newey to join them. Audi is coming in full force, having already confirmed that Nico Hulkenberg will be racing for them. With the new engine regulations as well, making a bold statement is not that difficult. Yes, it's a difficult sport for new teams to get into, but due to all teams needing to comply with the new rules, it's almost as though it's a reset for everyone. Now, my reasons for saying that Aston Martin is a choice is because Newey has a lot of experience with working on Honda engines, especially during his time at Red Bull. And Aston Martin has the money to spend on someone like Newey to try and improve the performance of their cars. Besides, Lawrence Stroll once likened Newey to a unicorn. Before trying to get the Brit to join Aston Martin, though, I really think Lawrence needs to fire his son, which I will say for the 300th time, he will not do. Yeah, you heard the disappointment in my voice. You probably have the same disappointment in your voice looking at Lance's performances each week. Now, imagine Lance behind a super fast car that was designed by the legendary Newey. We'd probably see a DNF every week from the Aston Martin team because, as I say each week, yes, I harp on it each week, but Lance will not be able to handle that car because he does not have the skill to do so. You can fight me on that, but I'm going to stick to my word until he can at least pull out a top 10 and I can actually see some skill from him. I'm going to keep saying the same thing each time I talk about him. Now, I do think that Newey may want to keep up his fantastic working relationship with Honda, so the move to Aston Martin would probably be at the top of his mind. However, if he did decide to move to Aston Martin and if he had to have his say, I think he may want to get rid of Lance as well. Yes, I had to rub that in there. Don't judge me. Now, I do think that the chances of Newey moving to one of the other teams aside from Aston Martin or Sauber may not be a very big possibility, but who knows? Things have been extremely complicated in Formula One over the past few weeks, especially since the start of the 2024 season after Hamilton announced that he's leaving. Things have been changing at a rapid pace, and nobody knows what's going to happen next. So let's talk a tiny bit about Newey's history. I'm not going to go into detail about that because who wants to really listen to his history? We have Google for that. So far, Newey has worked for 6 different teams, including Williams, McLaren, and Red Bull, and his designs have won over 200 Grand Prix races over the years. Despite this, Newey is not only known for designing F1 cars, he has also designed cars in IndyCar and IMSA, which is the top flight racing league for the American racing scene. Newey has rejected Ferrari 3 times already, as the Italian based team keep trying to sign him up. And I mean, they're trying to go for a fourth time. And if they do get rejected, I do feel sorry for the Italian side. But what can we do? They have to try, right? They eventually got it right with Hamilton. So, yeah. So, all I can say is we have to wait and see what the unpredictability of the Formula One season holds, as things have been changing, as I just mentioned, at a rapid pace, and nobody knows what's really going to happen. Okay, talking about Ferrari, team boss Fred Vasseur said that he believes that Red Bull are now out of their comfort zone after last week's loss, and he sees the gap between the Austrian side and the other teams closing. If that's anything to go by, and after the win from McLaren last week, we can expect some intriguing performances between the remainder of this year and next year, and hopefully many more years to come, where it's not only a Red Bull win or a specific team that's winning each week, we actually get some competition where it changes and it's difficult to predict the Drivers' Championship and the actual Constructors' Championship. But that's how I feel. I don't know about you if you prefer having it being one team that you know is going to win. If it's the team that you support, I suppose you'd probably be game for it. But in my case, I'm very neutral on who I support in the sport, so I don't actually have a team that I support. So I like to see competition each week. It also makes my job fun when I talk in these podcasts. I mean, why would I want to talk about the same thing each week? I know I've complained about this before. Yes, today's a lot of complaining. But who cares? That's a podcast that I'm talking about Formula One on. We complain as much as we want to, and yeah, you can complain in the comments as well. I don't think anybody's gonna judge you. Except for the haters. But anyways, in terms of McLaren, the team are hopeful that their performance after their win last week and their higher placings each week since, or well, prior to that, we can definitely expect some great things out of them, and that is what they said as well. They are hoping that it's going to keep going, they are going to keep winning races, and yeah, Norris is extremely excited about it, Piastri was extremely excited about it, and if you do follow their social media and that, I mean, you would have seen Piastri sent a video to Norris as well, congratulating him, congratulating the team, and hoping that they can do much more with some encouragement, etc. But, anyways, that's it for this week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you at the next episode, which will be after the Italian Grand Prix. See you then. Thank you for listening to the Lavesh Pillay Show.